Now we're going to look at income elasticity of demand. This measures the responsiveness of the demand for a good in response to changes in consumer income. Now the formula is delta Q, a change in the quantity demanded, over half the original quantity plus the new quantity divided by the change in income, that's delta Y, over half the original income plus the new income, or delta Q over delta Y multiplied by Y1 over Y2 divided by Q1 plus Q2. Now that particular formula is in the maths tables. Now the significance of the sign, if the answer is plus, it's a normal good. In other words, as income goes up, the quantity demanded goes up. If it's a minus, it's an inferior good. As income goes up, the quantity demanded goes down. The significance of the number, if the number is plus and greater than 1, it's a luxury good. If the number is plus and less than 1, it's a normal good. For an inferior good, it doesn't matter what the number is. Once there's a minus before it, it's an inferior good. So if you go down to the bottom, we look at YED minus 2.5. That's an inferior good. Plus 2.5, it's a luxury good. Plus 0.25, it's a normal good. So normal goods have a positive income relationship, and inferior goods have a negative income relationship, always, no exceptions. And finally, now we're going to look at the third type of elasticity, which is cross-elasticity of demand. This measures the effect of the quantity demanded of a good to a change in the price of another good. And look at the formula, again we look at the one that's in the maths tables, a change in the quantity of good A over the change in the price of good B, multiplied by the original price of good B plus the new price of good B, over the original quantity of good A plus the new quantity in good A. Now, the significance of the sign here, if it's a plus, it's a substitute good, always. If it's a minus, it's a complementary good, always. The significance of the number, the greater the number, the closer the substitute. The greater the number, the closer the complement. If CED is equal to 0, there's no relationship. Now let's have a look at an exam question that came up before on this. Assess the following information on these goods. CED between good A and good B is plus 2.5. Between good A and good C is minus 0.6. Between good A and good D is plus 0.3. And between good A and good E is minus 1.4. Good B and D have positive values, so they're substitutes. Good B is the closest substitute because it's the biggest number. Good C and good E have negative values, so they're complementary. And good E is the closest complement. Now that particular question was worth 20 marks. Right? Now, but you needed to know what you're talking about. So you have to get your signs and your numbers right for all three types of elasticity. And finally then, we're going to look at the uses or significance of elasticity. So, increasing production. A manufacturer who is considering increasing production will need to estimate the extent to which he will need to lower price in order to sell more. If demand is elastic, a small reduction in price will lead to a significant increase in sales. Indirect taxes or VAT. An increase in VAT will increase the price of the good. Indirect tax on the good will lead to an increase in tax revenues only if the demand is inelastic. And this is the reason the government increases VAT on the unreliables such as petrol, tobacco and alcohol. Higher prices do not significantly affect the demand for these goods. They do affect significantly elastic goods. And lastly, price fixing by a monopolist. If the demand for his product is inelastic, the monopolist can raise prices and total revenues will increase. This can continue until demand becomes inelastic.